Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Linda Pliagas, founder and publisher of Realty 411, and I'm so excited to be interviewing Sunil Tulsiani today. Sunil is the founder of Private Investment Club, which is the largest elite real estate investment club and wealth building club in Canada. And it's a pleasure to have Sunil with us today. Hello, Sunil. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you for that intro. I'm so happy to be with you today.
Well, it's always a pleasure to connect with you, Sunil. And today we want to ask you specific questions so that our listeners can gain insight about the current market. So let's go ahead and begin. Now, Sunil, what do you think of the current real estate market?
Thank you for that question. This is probably one of the biggest questions that's coming out. But first, let's start with the idea of I've been doing this for more than now 17 years. So I've seen when the market was up and when the 2008 came and and then we crashed, especially United States crashed, and then what had happened afterward, and then the market came back up. So the whole point is I'm very blessed, at least from today's point of view, to have seen what happens when the market goes up and everybody makes money, and then also experience the devastation of actually losing it all and coming back again as well. In 2005, I've left the police force and I went into real estate investing, and now I'm into business entrepreneurship and mainly in real estate, as you indicated. And so the question is, what is going on in today's market? And when we're talking about market, I'm mainly focusing right now United States and Canada, because I'm in Canada and I also invest in the United States. My members, my friends, they also invest in the United States. So the whole point is the market crashing? Has it crashed? Is it going to crash further? And most places, a lot of places, actually, market has softened and even have come down, especially in the Toronto area in Canada and certain parts of the United States as well. We don't have those crazy bidding wars anymore, and that we used to have. And so the short answer is I do see market coming down further than what we are in September of 2022. But some people think that that's a bad news, and it is for a lot of people, but it's also great news for some amazing investors.
Absolutely. That's a great way to make money when the market is shifting. And now, Sunil, in your opinion, what's the secret of thriving in the current real estate market of today?
Well, the thing is this, when the markets are up, you can make money. When the markets are flat, you can make money. And you can actually make a lot of money when the markets are coming down, or the crash that a lot of people are talking about, or recession that the United States already officially in recession. Canada is unofficially in recession, meaning it's not been announced, but I believe they will announce it. And the fact that we know today, let's say 20 years ago, even when I started 17 years ago, or even before that, internet was not as big. So you couldn't really get a lot of stuff on the internet. Today, you can get a lot of stuff, if you know who to listen to, what to watch, and what to read. So number one thing to thrive, let's say if there's a big crash coming or the recession is going to have an impact on the prices, number one thing is to educate yourself. Now, education, I know you have a training club and all that stuff, and you train a lot of people. Learning from the right people has to be very, very valuable. So there are a lot of people who are teaching. I even see people right now that have been doing real estate for a year or 2 years during pandemic, and they call themselves experts. When the market was just shooting up, right? They call themselves the gurus and experts. So learn from people who have been doing it for a long time. They have some experience. they know what they're talking about, and they actually have the results. You learn from their mistakes and you learn from their successes. So number one is learning, and number two is to actually network and go back to basics, and that is building relationships with the right people. Relationships with people who can acquire good properties, relationship with people who have access to money, and relationship with people who can teach you, like your teachers, mentors, and coaches and consultants they can help you. And the most important part is that do not buy properties these days. You shouldn't do it anytime, but especially today, based on appreciation, based on I'm going to buy today, I'm going to buy a negative cash flowing property, and then I'm going to wait for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years for the prices to come back up, and that's how I'm going to make money. It might be okay for if you're already extremely wealthy and you just want to park your money and there's some taxation issues, but from 99% of the people do not buy based on appreciation. In fact, I would try and make every effort to buy properties that are below market value and the properties that produce positive cash flow. So having those kind of things in your mind are very, very important. And last but not least, like I indicated before, when you go to events, when you go to, there are in-person events and there are virtual events. I like both of them, but I particularly love in-person events because you get to meet and connect and network with the right people. I mean, we're having our big event coming up on October 1st, October 2nd. It's called Wealth Mastery with Robin Sharma, the gentleman who wrote Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. We're going to have millionaires and multimillionaires. And people will actually have the opportunity to break bread with these amazing people. And we actually have Canadians who like to invest in the United States, and they love to invest in Canada and all over the world. So in order to thrive, we're talking about education from the right people, right? We're talking about networking. We're talking about attending events. And then last, building those deep connections, the relationships with the right people.
Fantastic insight, Sunil. Thank you so much for sharing such valuable information.
You're very
Now,
welcome.
yes, now, what about the capital? How can someone raise funds in today's environment?
Yeah. So when 2008 came, you see, when I left the police force, people tell me, don't leave your secure job. It's a stupid idea and all that kind of stuff. Then I generated lots of money. People were happy. Then I lost it all. And people were like, see, we told you, you should go back to work and not do this. So the bad news was that I lost everything in 2008. The good news is 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, and beyond, we ended up generating millions again because there was a crash. You see, I probably wouldn't have been able to generate that much money if the crash had not occurred. So what you do is this. First, other than attending events, networking, and breaking bread with the right people and building relationships, is that to figure out what area has the gold. And in this case, when I say gold, I mean property as a gold. So, you may have seen many movies where, 50 years ago, they said, hey, we got a map, a treasure map. And if you follow this map and you dig it, and that's where the gold is, or where the treasure is and all that stuff. There was no internet in those days, so that's what people used to do. Today, in order to get that map that says go where the gold is, it's so easier because of course, the technology, the internet, and all that stuff. So one thing that I would suggest is that you find a location where the properties make sense, where the numbers make sense. So sometimes where you live, your backyard may not make sense yet. And let's say market crashes in Kansas City, or market crashes in Atlanta, certain areas of Florida, but you don't live there. You don't live there. So what you do is you build your team. You build where the gold is. So if the gold is not in your backyard, but it's 200 kilometers or miles away from you, or another state or so, then you go and build your team there. We're talking about management company, acquisition team, fix-up team, contractors, your legal team, people that you can set up to make this work. And what happens is that's like you getting your treasure map, saying, hey, I know that that's where the properties are crashing, or you can buy properties below market value and buy properties that produce cash flow. So let's say you find this location, right? Let's say for us in the past, we actually went from Canada, because Canada slowed down, didn't crash like United States. I had a choice. Do I stay in my backyard or do I go where the gold is? And to me, America in certain areas had gold. In fact, most places, but certain places were better. So where did I go? I went to a couple of cities in Ohio. We're talking about Youngstown and Cleveland. We went to Michigan. We went outskirts of Detroit. So we went to that. We went to Kansas City. We went to Jacksonville, Florida, for example. Where was I going? I was going where people needed to live and rent, and there was a cash flow. And that's the most important part. So I was buying properties that were $200,000 for $40,000 or $50,000 and fix them up, and I would flip them for almost 100% ROI, or I keep them for 13, 14, 15% cap rate. Some of them were 20% cap rate. And what happened was I really didn't care if the market was continuing to go down. Like if I bought something in 2009, people said, don't buy, wait. But in 2009, if I bought a property that is so cheap and was going to produce me great cash flow, I just bought it, even if it kept going down a little bit. And then in 2012 or 13, it started to come back up. But until that point, I was collecting great cash flow, right? Or I was flipping it. So once you have a team and you find a great property in that area, then those properties, that gold is going to attract the people with money, that gold. So you learn how to put up and make an information package that has a picture, information about the property, the comparables from the past, the replacement value, and most importantly, what is the cash flow from a percentage point of view or a cap rate point of view. So what happens is you go where the gold is and go where the people with money are hanging out. And they don't have to be in the same state. So for example, in Toronto, we're having this big event, Wealth Mastery. Well, we have lots of people in Toronto wanting to invest in the United States, but they don't have the team there. They don't know a lot of people. But if you have that good deal, you can easily assign that deal. You can do a joint venture partnership. They can become your down payment partners. Any of that stuff to attract that capital that you're looking for. So gold is what attracts the money or the investor, right? And what is gold? Gold is great cash flowing properties in a decent area that you have set up a team in.
Wonderful. This is fantastic insight and strategies, Sunil. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, you mentioned your event. Can you tell us a little bit more about your upcoming big event, Wealth Mastery?
Yes. So Wealth Mastery is happening in downtown Toronto. It's an in-person as well as a virtual event where people from all over the world are going to come to Toronto, or they're going to join us from the comfort of their own home. And we're going to have one of my heroes. His name is Robin Sharma. He wrote Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, 5 a.m. Club, and a really, really amazing person, big success. His mentors, multimillionaires, even billionaires call him his coach. So he's coming to the event. My friend Sunil Desai from India, he's a business and life coach, also a very successful person. He's going to be coming to speak at this event. And we're going to have millionaires and multimillionaires. We're going to have people with the money who are looking for people who have access to good deals. And we're going to have people that want to have access to good deals. So the idea there is how do you become master in building a wealth? That's why it's called Wealth Mastery.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-day event. It's one day for general attendees and 2 days for VIPs and up. And I'm so excited because I truly believe in the next few months, 6 months to 12 months or so, the best opportunity possibly of our lifetime is coming to make lots of money in real estate. And there should be no excuses, whether you are starting out, you're somewhere in the middle, you're already a multimillionaire, you have no money, you have lots of money, doesn't matter. You can make huge amounts of money in the upcoming months, because our government in Canada and United States, they're going to continue to raise the interest rate, which means it's going to get tougher, and the prices need to come down even further. And they need to control the inflation to massive level. Both of the countries want the inflation to go down to 2%. It's a long way to do that. And they seem very serious about that. Great thing about that is that, not so great thing and great thing is that on this side, majority of the people are going to lose money, and then this money that they will lose will go to, on this side, with some small group of people, it basically gets transferred over to these people. And so the point here is, those of you who want to be in this side, right? They want to be on this side. They need to prepare. They need to educate themselves. They need to build relationships. They need to connect. They need to figure out whether they're active investors, passive investors. How do they find and connect with COIs, Center of Influence people? The most important part is that one center of influence can absolutely change your life if you figure out how to connect with them, how to build a relationship with them as well, because we have many center of influences that are going to be at the event. And so it's called Wealth Mastery. And what I'm going to do is, Linda, for your community, is I'm going to offer 5 virtual VIP tickets as a gift to them. So it's a free virtual for 5 people. They can join us from anywhere in the world. And this is for both days. You're going to get the recording of it. You're going to be able to join us, meet us virtually at the event. And there's going to be a link in the in your email, or in the video as well for you.
Sunil, that is so generous of you, and I thank you so much. I know our readers and our listeners are just going to be so excited to have the opportunity to be a part of Wealth Mastery. And some may not be able to travel to Toronto. So, this is the perfect opportunity for them to be a part of this amazing event, because I have attended your virtual events in the past, and they are amazing. I was
Thank you.
so impressed by the professionalism and all the fantastic information that was shared.
Thank you.
And I've also hosted you in person as well at several of our events in the United States. And what an amazing impact you had on
Thank
everyone in the audience.
Thank you very much. I feel very blessed, Linda. You know, I was a shy guy. I didn't have big self-esteem. I was not a public speaker or an author that I've become today. But I feel very blessed because I've shared now stages with Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Deepak Chopra, and now Robin Sharma and Brian Tracy, and so many amazing people on the planet. And those of you who can actually come to the event, I really encourage you to come. We're going to get lots of people coming from all over the world. There is a currently heavily discounted early bird tickets for you to take advantage of. If you can come by, say hello, you want to break bread with me, you want to network with some amazing people, here's your opportunity. And come to Toronto. Maybe you can even write it off in your taxes as your business expense. We don't know. check with your accountant. But I would love to see you in person or virtually. And I really want to change people's lives. And I'm so glad to be here with you, Linda. And thank you for this interview.
Oh, it's our pleasure, Sunil. Thank you so much for your time. We know you're so busy. I would encourage everyone, if you have the opportunity to travel to Toronto, please do so. Do yourself a favor and your family a favor, and travel to get educated on how you can position yourself for the upcoming market. Will it crash? We don't know, but it's definitely shifting, and it's time for you to prepare to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming. So, again, Sunil, thank you so much for the opportunity to interview you and for all the wonderful insight you shared with our listeners today and our viewers.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to seeing some of you at my event virtually or in person at the Wealth Mastery event, October 1st, October 2nd. Take good care, everybody.
Thank you again.